Hello, fellow witches, wizards, and muggles. Welcome back to Harry Potter Academy. Today we're diving into the magical world of Harry Potter to uncover some hidden details you might have missed in the movies. Let's start with the first movie, The Philosopher's Stone. In The Philosopher's Stone, a subtle detail is how the Leaky Cauldron sign appears out of nowhere when Hagrid and Harry get close to it. This is a clever way to keep the magical world hidden from Muggles. The Leaky Cauldron also has a Muggle-repelling charm that ensures they never get close enough for the sign to appear. As Hagrid takes Harry to Gringotts for the first time, if you look closely, you'll notice that the goblins behind the desks are animatronic. Their repetitive motions give it away.
Hagrid? What exactly are these things?
They're goblins, Harry.
Speaking of goblins, the Goblin Bank Teller is played by none other than Warwick Davis, who also portrays Professor Flitwick. His versatility as an actor adds another layer of magic to the film.
And does Mr. Harry Potter have his key?
Oh, wait a minute.
In another scene, when Harry finds out his father played Quidditch, we also see a plaque with M. McGonagall listed as a Quidditch player, suggesting that Professor McGonagall was once a talented player herself.
Harry, you never told me your father was a seeker too.
This small detail adds depth to her character, showing that she wasn't always the strict, rule-abiding teacher we know, but also had her glory days on the Quidditch field. When Ron and Harry play wizard's chess, it's a clever piece of foreshadowing. Later in the movie, Ron will get knocked off his horse by the Queen, mirroring the intense and dangerous nature of the real-life wizard's chess game they play to reach the Philosopher's Stone. When Harry looks into the mirror of Erised, he sees gibberish written at the top. However, when viewed through a mirror, the inscription reads, "I show not your face, but your heart's desire." This magical mirror reveals the deepest desires of those who gaze into it, serving as a poignant and symbolic element in Harry's journey. Now, onto the second movie, The Chamber of Secrets. In the scene where Harry finds Dobby the house elf in his bedroom, there's a piece of foreshadowing you might not notice. Look closely and you'll see a sock hanging out of the dresser. This subtly hints at the movie's end, where Dobby is freed by a sock, showcasing the film's clever use of visual storytelling.
Open it.
Dobby?
Master has given Dobby a sock.
What? I didn't...
Master has presented Dobby with clothes. Dobby is free.
When Harry mistakenly gets transported to Nocturne Alley, you might spot a poster mentioning Charles de Menjot. De Menjot was a 19th century French heraldic engraver and typographer whose work influenced the graphical typefaces in some of the Harry Potter films' logos and monograms. This Easter egg is a nod to the rich history and artistry behind the film's design. In the scene where Harry meets Lucius Malfoy for the first time, look closely at his snake cane. The snake is actually the handle of his wand hidden inside the cane. Furthermore, the snake handle with its mouth open resembles the snakes in the Chamber of Secrets. This may hint at a connection between the Malfoys and Salazar Slytherin, or simply reflect Lucius's penchant for dark and ancient artifacts, likely acquired from Borgin and Burkes. As we see portraits of Lockhart, they all act out the different stories he had stolen from others. The largest portrait is of Lockhart painting his own portrait, foreshadowing the revelation that all his stories were fabricated by himself. This visual cue subtly hints at his deceitful nature.
Talk about that. I didn't get rid of the band and banshee by smiling at them.
Moving on to the third movie, The Prisoner of Azkaban. As Harry gets off the night bus and enters the Leaky Cauldron, we see a wizard reading Stephen Hawking's book, A Brief History of Time. This clever inclusion foreshadows the movie's plot, which involves going back in time to alter the future. During a divination class, we see Hermione fiddling with the time turner around her neck. This small detail foreshadows her time-traveling adventures.
Where did you come from?
Me? Been here all this time.
A pivotal point revealed later in the movie. An easily missed Easter egg can be spotted when Harry is introduced to the Marauders' map. If you look closely, you'll see Newt Scamander on the map. One theory suggests that he travelled into the future to save Buckbeak the Hippogriff, adding an exciting connection to the Fantastic Beasts series.
British, huh?
Yes.
So you mean this map shows everyone? Everyone? Everyone. Where they are, what they're doing, every minute of every day.
The Room of Doom is a term used by the Marauders, but its exact purpose isn't known. Presumably, there was something about the room that made them consider it to contain Doom, in some way perhaps a teacher who would stop their mischief or some general danger. Its mysterious nature adds to the intrigue of Hogwarts' many secrets. In divination class, we see foreshadowing of future events as Sirius's face appears in the crystal ball. This eerie moment hints at the dramatic events that will unfold later that night.
Professor Trelawney.
He will return tonight.
Sorry?
Tonight, he who betrayed his friends whose heart rots with murder shall break free. Innocent blood shall be spilt, and servant and master shall be reunited once more.
When Harry practices the Patronus charm on a boggart, we hear his mother's scream. This detail highlights the boggart's power to replicate not just the physical form of one's fears, but also other characteristics, such as the ability to drain feelings of happiness and joy, making one relive their worst memories. In the fourth movie, The Goblet of Fire, more foreshadowing occurs in the scene where Harry is in the prefect's bathroom. The mermaid in the glass painting hints at the second task of the Triwizard Tournament, where he will encounter merpeople.
But she's my friend too.
Only one.
Later, we see Mad-Eye Moody having a tic, where he sticks out his tongue. This shocks Barty Crouch, who realizes his son had the same tic. This subtle clue foreshadows the revelation that Moody is actually Barty Crouch Jr. in disguise.
Hello, Father.
You are no son of mine.
On to the fifth movie, The Order of the Phoenix. At the end of the movie, if you look closely at the Daily Prophet, you'll notice other branches of magic mentioned, such as pink magic, which pertains to love, beauty, sexuality, and feminism. These small details enrich the magical world's complexity and diversity. On to the sixth movie, The Half-Blood Prince. In one scene, we notice the headline in the Daily Prophet that Lucius Malfoy has been imprisoned in Azkaban. This happened at the end of the last book, The Order of the Phoenix, due to his involvement in events surrounding Harry Potter's prophecy. While not made explicit in the books, the films allude to this significant plot point. We also see the Vanishing Cabinet making an appearance at the beginning of the movie, which is central to the plot of the sixth book and ultimately leads to Dumbledore's death. In the second book, The Chamber of Secrets, we first see a vanishing cabinet, though it is not identified as such. In Chapter 4, the book says, Harry has ended up in Borgin and Berks after a slight mishap with flu powder and has to hide to avoid Draco Malfoy and his father. The place he chooses to hide is a large black cabinet, referring to the Vanishing Cabinet. In a scene where Tom Riddle talks to Professor Slughorn, we notice Riddle playing with a ring on his finger. This ring traces back to the Peverell family and contains the Resurrection Stone, one of the 3 Deathly Hallows. Riddle later turns this ring into a Horcrux, which Dumbledore destroys. However, the stone survives and is placed inside a golden snitch for Harry. This detail ties together several key elements of the story. Now, onto the 7th movie, The Deathly Hallows Part 1. We see Bathilda Bagshot having many pictures of Gellert Grindelwald. Grindelwald was one of the most powerful dark wizards, and Bathilda was his great-aunt. These pictures suggest a connection, and possibly her support of Grindelwald's pure-blood views. It's a subtle nod to the complex history and relationships in the wizarding world. Finally, in the 8th movie, The Deathly Hallows, Part 2, we see Ravenclaw's lost diadem. What you might miss is the engraving on the top of the diadem, "Wit beyond measure is man's greatest treasure." This famous quote by Rowena Ravenclaw underscores the importance of wisdom and knowledge, pivotal themes throughout the series. And there you have it. These are just a few of the many hidden details in the Harry Potter movies that add depth and richness to the story. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey through the Harry Potter films. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more enchanting content from Harry Potter Academy.